Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV, Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV, níbi wọ́n ti ń dábìí ẹ̀dùn tí wọ́n ń rọ̀ bí òwú. Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV, láti ń gbóhùn sáfẹ́fẹ́, láti ń dábìí ẹ̀dùn tá ń rọ̀ bí òwú. Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV, Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV, ọgbọ́n ń bẹ, òye ń bẹ, ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lóríṣiríṣi ní Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ TV. Ẹ máa wò ó, ẹ máa gbọ́.
Mo kí gbogbo ojú tó ń wò mí káàkiri ayé, mo kí wa lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé lágbà nínú ilé yìí, mo kí wa pé kú dóde àsìkò yìí, ẹ̀sìnkú bójú ọjọ́ ti rí ẹ̀dọ̀dọ̀ bí o, ẹ bá bínú ẹni tó fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan ó ní dandan kó òun ẹ̀ há, ẹ gbé síbí, ẹ bá gbé síbí ibi tó ń ti há nìyẹn. Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ wá kí wá fi èní dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ olólùfẹ́ wa, olólùfẹ́ bàbá Gbàgede Ìmọ̀. Kódà yínníyínní kẹ́ni ṣe míì ní Yorùbá sọ, tí mi bá wá báyìí kí n wá dúpẹ́, aláìmoore ni máa dà, aláìmoore. Mo dẹ̀ tún wá láti wá ṣàlàyé àwọn tí wọ́n ń pè mí tán bí mí léèrè báwo la ṣe máa rìn, níbo ni àdírẹ́sì. Mo wá ṣàlàyé àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan lé lórí. Finally, mo wá sọ nípa ètò ààbò ní Nàìjíríà, pàápàá jùlọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wa. Ẹ̀yin ẹ̀kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí kí n kọ́ dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti rí mi tẹ́ mọ́ mi lójú. Ẹni rí ni tó mọ́ mi lójú, ẹ jẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Èèyàn kan ní ò mọ̀ pa wà níbì kankan rárá. Ṣé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fún mi ló kéré tán 1000, kò tẹ̀sẹ̀ ní fún mi 1000. Owó tó kéré jù tí mo gbà 20,000 mi, táwọn olólùfẹ́ bàbá Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ fún mi. Bàbá Gbàgede àfẹ́ kójú tí ẹ gbà kó fi ṣèṣílé ẹ ṣeun, mo dúpẹ́ o. Ìyá kan wò mí ṣùṣùṣùṣù 500,000 ìyá ẹ̀ fún mi 500. Wọ́n ti ní kí n má dárúkọ wọn, mi ní dárúkọ yín. Ó dẹ̀ ní méjì bẹ́ẹ̀, 100,000 yóò tẹ̀ ló kà. Ẹ ṣeun sà, ẹ ṣeun mà. Tí bá kọ success story mi máa kọ yín mọ̀ pé olólùfẹ́ tó ga ni jẹ́, tí ẹ fẹ́ kójú ti ẹni tẹ́ nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí, ẹ jẹ́ kójú ti bàbá Gbàgede Ìmọ̀, ojú òní ti ẹ̀yin náà. Ẹ ṣeun, mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ìṣílẹ̀ náà lágbára Ọlọ́run Sátidé tó ń bọ̀ yìí ni. Èní ni ọjọ́ Wednesday, ọjọ́ 16 tí mi bá ṣe. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, èní ni 16th, Wednesday 16th of April 2025. Ẹ ṣeun, mo dúpẹ́ o. 19th of April, ó kù just 3 days. Ó dé by this Saturday, this time Saturday, àti fẹ́ máa round off. In fact, àti fẹ́ dé mẹ́numẹ́nu táwọn èèyàn ti máa jẹ tán ti máa mú. Mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ti raṣọ, mo dúpẹ́ gan mí tí ẹ rò. Kódà àwọn tó wà lóyìnbó raṣọ, aṣọ ti wá tán báyìí. Gbogbo aṣọ tí mo rà ló ti tán, mi ìdẹ̀ rẹ́dí láti rà mí tọ́lọ́jọ́ ti súnmọ́. Anybody bá bi mí lè rí aṣọ ti tán. Ẹ ṣé, mo dúpẹ́ o, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mi raṣọ. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá fẹ́ wá play jingle kan fún wa nínú program mi náà ni. A sọ àdírẹ́sì sínú jingle yẹn, ẹ má rí wò ká tó parí. Bákan náà ni pé a ti ṣe àwọn bánà kan, a ti ṣe àwọn àdírẹ́sì ẹlẹ́wò yẹn, a ti ṣe àwọn banners kan. Àwọn banners yẹn fi direction hàn, ó lẹ́wò yẹn, ó ti fi direction hàn this way to Baba Gbàgede Ìmọ̀'s house. So tẹ́ bá ti rí banner kan, ẹ ṣá máa lọ títí tẹ́ máa fi rí mi. Tẹ́ bá ti rí banner kan, ẹ máa lọ títí tẹ́ tún máa fi rí mi. Banner yẹn ó máa direct yín. But ẹni tí ó bá gbé mọ́tò wá, àwọn tó ní mọ́tò, àwọn nìkan ni banner yẹn wúlò fún. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ gbé mọ́tò wá, ẹ má worry. Tẹ́ bá sá ti délé iṣẹ́ àwo, tẹ́ bá ti sọ fáwọn ọlọ́kadà pé Malamaro Estate lẹ́ lọ nílé Bàbá Gbàgede Ìmọ̀, tàbí ká sọ pé ilé ńlá, àwọn náà sọ lórúkọ fúnra wọn bẹ́ẹ̀, náà sọ nílé ńlá. èmi lè gbé bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ house sí wọ́n sọ pé malamaru estate lẹ́ ń lọ nílé bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ fáwọn agbẹ́yìn débẹ̀ ẹ bà wá bẹ̀ mìtà tí ń ṣètò ẹ ṣe mo dúpẹ́ o ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá dẹ̀fẹ́ tó ń ṣe ìnáwó sí mi ààyè wà o bẹ́ẹ̀ lè wà láti ìlú òyìnbó bẹ́ẹ̀ bá náwó sí mi nàìjíríà máa gbà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ dẹ̀ wá nàìjíríà náà tẹ́ ẹ lè wá bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ní bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ sẹ́ẹ̀dì àkáǹtì máa sẹ́ẹ̀dì ẹ ṣe mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ ojú òní tẹ̀yìn náà o irú oore báyìí kò ní jọ tán nílé wa lágbára Ọlọ́run lónìí mo rí write-up kan ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ tipẹ́ náà nínú oṣù yìí náà ló ṣẹlẹ̀ àmọ́ kẹ́rẹ́kẹ́rẹ́ ìjọba náà ń dáhùn Fúlàní yìí ṣe ó ti ń pọ̀jọba bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn náà ti ń rí wípé kì í ṣe mẹ̀kúnnù nìkan mọ́ àbí kí ni ká ti sọ odidi national director ní APC àwọn Fúlàní dẹ̀ jí gbé lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n pàyàwó ẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ náà pàyàwó ẹ̀ wọ́n gbé ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ tó lọ bá l'Àbújá wọ́n gbé òun náà wọ́n pàyàwó máa yẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ gba 90 million lọ́wọ́ arákùnrin tá à ń sọ yìí wọ́n gba 90 million pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ náà Fúlàní tó pa lẹ́yìn tó gba 90 million wọ́n tún padà pa arákùnrin yẹn ó lè wò yìí national director ni o lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n gba 90 million tán lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ Dr. Abdulrauf Adéníjì ló ń jẹ́ Dr. Abdulrauf Adékúnlé Adéníjì wọ́n tún padà pa lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ti gba owó iyebíye 90 million fídíò yìí ló jẹ́ kí n máa kí Abdulmukni kú oríire àti ìyàwó Air Force officer tọ́jọ gbé wọn torí yàtọ̀ fowó tí wọ́n gbà wọ́n ṣe pẹ́ tó lọ́dọ̀ wọn Ọlọ́run ò ní kó pa wọ́n tó bá ti ń pẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn máa pa wọ́n ní January ni wọ́n ti gbé máyì láti January náà ti gbé wọ́n ní 90 million yẹn san nínú April wọ́n lè pa máyẹn l'April 9 definitely àwọn tó wà níjọba kíní yẹn ti ń súnkàn àwọn náà díẹ̀díẹ̀ àwọn náà ti ń rí pàràlú ọkàn pariwo lásán àwọn náà ti ń rí pé ògbọ̀n eré là ń pe kíní ní ọ̀wẹ̀ ó ti ń ní ààrò nínú nígbà tí mo rí write up yẹn yes mo ní ògbọ̀n ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti ń tó sọ báyìí tó bá tẹ̀ sọ pé wà tá a sọ̀rọ̀ fabricated lies ni ṣé ìtòṣẹlẹ̀ sí máyì náà fabricated lies ni ṣérò àròrí sọ ni ṣérò àròrí pa ni kidnappers kill APC national director after taking 90 million naira ransom ẹ bá mi pé ọba bíntín ẹni kó wá lọ sùn kó lọ pé ọlọ́pàá kan wá àrẹ́sì àwọn ẹni tó sọ 90 million naira ransom ẹni kọba bíntín kó wá lọ àrẹ́sì wọn pé kí ló dé tán fún bandit ní ransom bó ṣe sọ pọ́lọ́pàá máa gbé èmi nígbà tí mugni pé white lọ fi 100 million fún bandit ẹni kí ọba bíntín lọ fọlọ́pàá gbé gbogbo àwọn tó wà l'APC tí wọ́n san ransom 90 million fún bandit a ní ká parúpọ̀ ká pó léwì a sọ pé ibi tó ní wọ́n fi sí ò dáa a sọ fún wa pé security Nàìjíríà ti tán ó ti mẹ́hẹ mo rántí pé last time tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ ń bí àwọn general long general serving general ni wọ́n dá owó pọ̀ ni wọ́n fún bandit lórí kan lè release èèyàn wọn tí wọ́n gbé general ẹgbẹ́ wọn tó gbé kẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́ bí tí ààbò Nàìjíríà ti mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́ tó ti mú àwọn olórí ológun máa dáwó fún bandit láti release ológun ẹgbẹ́ wọn kí ló kù àwa tá a dológun jẹ́rí pé ká máa múra ni. Another influential man rèé ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ national director nínú party tó jẹ́ ruling party ṣé ká ní kò lágbára tó ni Fúlàní gbé o ìjì tó ń jà tó wọlé tó ń gbọ́mọ rí odó ẹ sọ fún ìyá odó pé kóun náà máa múra ẹ sọ fún ìyá odó kóun náà máa múra tó ti mú tìgbòdìdì ọmọ rí odó lọ kí ìyá odó náà máa múra ní ìjì tó wọlé tó gbòdìdì ọmọ ọlọ́ta ẹ sọ fọ́lọ́ta kọ̀ọ̀kan má sàṣùpara Fúlàní tó wọlé tó gbé dàrẹ́tọ̀ lọ national chairman àtàwọn executive ńláńlá káwọn náà má dúró kọ́ má rọṣẹ́ wọ́n mú díẹ̀díẹ̀ làwọn arábí yẹn mú wọ́n kúrò lórí aráàlú díẹ̀díẹ̀ sí wọ́n bọ́ sáwọn ẹni ńláńlá wọ́n ti gbé àwọn pásítọ̀ lọ bìbà wọ́n bá àwọn mọ́ọ̀mù lọ bìbà wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé àwọn ọ̀jọ̀ wọn á dáwó wọ́n dẹ̀ dáná wọ́n rí lísì wọn ẹ lọ lẹ yíbò kẹ lọ àwọn àìmọye àwọn pásítọ̀ jọ ńláńláńlá tí wọ́n gbé tó gba nothing less than 100 million lọ́wọ́ wọn wọ́n rí lísì kan lẹ́nì wọ́n dẹ̀ tún lọ kidnap mi lọ́la wọ́n tún lọ jí mi gbé lọ́la ta ló fẹ́ mú wọn wọ́n ti wá kó lórí àwọn pásítọ̀ orí àwọn mọ́ọ̀mù nísìn wọ́n ti ń bọ́ sórí àwọn olóṣèlú fúnra wọn wọ́n ti bọ́ sórí olóṣèlú fúnra wọn kó má yà wá lẹ́nu lọ́la tá a bá gbọ́ pé wọ́n gbé surprise member ká má wá surprise lọ́la tá a bá gbọ́ pé wọ́n jí sẹ́nétọ̀ gbé yes now ibi tó ń bọ̀rọ̀ lọ nìyẹn Yorùbá ti sọ̀rọ̀ pé àgbà tí ò bá ti kẹrù sọ̀rọ̀ á padà kẹtọ sáré èhó director nínú ruling party tí wọ́n ti lè gbé tí wọ́n dẹ̀ pa successfully tí ò sí kankan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. According to report, Dr. Adedeji was kidnapped on January 26, 2025 by gunmen wielding AK-47 rifles in the Chikakore area of Kubwa, Abuja nìyẹn, within the Buhari area council of the Federal Capital Territory. Dr. Adedeji was abducted while paying his brother a visit when he was attacked by gunmen. The kidnappers abducted the politicians, his wife, and his brother. However, his wife was shot dead immediately after she failed to walk fast as instructed by the kidnappers. APC Deputy Director of Administration, Ubaga Ebe, in a statement on Thursday, April 9, disclosed that the party secretariat will remain closed till Monday, Monday to Loi, as a result of the unfortunate development. The National Secretariat has approved the closure of the National Secretariat from all party/work activities with immediate effect till Monday, April 14, 2025, Ebe said. The decision was made after he had received the news of the sad demise of the Director of Administration, late Honorable Abdurrauf Adekunle Adeniji PhD. Ṣé ti gbọ́ báyìí? Ẹni tó jẹ́ national member ruling party. Tó bá jẹ́ gbàtàn ni, bí wọ́n ṣe gbé máa yẹn, immediately làwọn security ti máa strong to action. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ make sure pé wọ́n rescue máa yẹn. Bẹ̀tì rárá o, ó kọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, wọ́n lọ sọ 90 million. Pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ náà, Fúlàní tó pa á. Ṣé ń gbàdé lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sí national director? Kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sàráàlú nìkan? tí ò national kankan. Ẹ bá gbọ́ Màdúró máa rọ́ṣẹ́ o tó ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀rẹ̀ bí gún bá lé ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ dúró bí Fúlàní bá lé ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ dúró lọ́rọ̀ yìí sí. A whole national executive wọ́n gbowó wọ́n tún pa á wọ́n tí a security wa we go and do your worst. Class LSC Nàìjíríà torí ẹ̀ parẹ́ Nàìjíríà torí ẹ̀ kù nǹkan kó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà wọ́n pa gbé ni ẹ lọ dágbọ́n nú yín ó dọ́sọ táwọn Fúlàní yẹn sọ fún wa nìyẹn. Tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn ìjọba tó wà lórí oyè nísìn kí wọ́n rẹ́dì láti face reality they will know that it is now high time fún wọn láti pakítí mọ́ra láti face out nǹkan tó jẹ́ banditry kó Nàìjíríà. Ẹ lọ́wọ́ Ibrahim Traore ẹ lọ́wọ́ tó ń pa bẹ́ẹ̀ kan bá dọ̀wọ́ ohun Boko Haram àbọ̀ Fúlàní ẹ̀sìpẹ̀ ní Burkina Faso wà láì wọ́n apá kílẹ̀ tó mọ́ irú táwọn afọwọ́ra wọn lórí ń bí yẹn ẹ wo tó ń pa lójoojúmọ́ níbi tí wọ́n láyà dé owó tí wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn wọ́n tún fi Tinunbu ṣẹlẹ́yà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ wọ́n display owó yẹn ìgbédè tán sọ fúlfúdè náà sọ kíní kan Tinunbu kíní kan wọ́n display owó yẹn nítorí láyà dé lórí social media ẹ wo wọn màá ní kan play ẹ̀kẹ́yìn náà gbọ́n tó ń wí owó tí wọ́n gbà sásán wọ́n páàkì ẹran wọn báyìí wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní display because ohun tó ń jẹ́ security àti láàkẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà there is no more security no gbogbo ẹnu mi sọ pé there is no more security mo lè mí tẹ̀sí ní òkú tẹ́lẹ̀ pé àwọn àmì wa náà àmì wo ṣé àmì tó gbé general tí wọ́n dáwó ransom tí wọ́n lọ fi 100 million gba general lẹ̀ ṣáàbì yẹn la máa gbọ́kọ̀ lé sí. Another one too rèé o ruling party the old national executive wọ́n pa gbé tí ó dẹ̀ sí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà torí ẹ̀ parẹ́ o ní káwọn àmì gbé ọmọ tank kọ́lá fẹ́ lọ destroy gbogbo àwọn Fúlàní yẹn kí ló fi yàtọ̀ definitely bó ṣe wà yìí tó bá rọwọ́ tó nínú àwọn sẹ́nétọ̀ wọ́n pa wọ́n gbé náà ní tó lẹ̀ sí tó rẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ ká tó wá sọ pé tó wà lókè pátápátá kí ni ká wá sọ ṣe ti rí pé ẹ̀mí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ò dé a ní hope anywhere we are totally hopeless now a ní hope ní Nàìjíríà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàgbé ẹ̀ in fact kí ló pè bí ìlú Fúbàrà ibẹ̀ nìkan ni president ti declare state of emergency ní security sector kí government declare state of emergency lórí security because the government has failed the security outfit has failed lórí ọ̀rọ̀ security day and mark you nínú constitution Nigeria the first duty of a government is to provide security for the citizen. So if a government failed in security sector it means overall that government is a failure tó túmọ̀ sí nìyẹn. So overall assessment fún ìjọba tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ sí failure ni. Ẹni ìgbésẹ̀ tíjọba bá ń gbé láti rí pàwọn stop insecurity tí ò bá tí yọ failure ṣìnà ṣe wà zero because nobody is safe anymore. Nǹkan tá à ń rí sí nìyẹn. That is the implication of what is happening. A whole member, a whole executive member of a ruling party Fúlàní gbé easily láti January wọ́n dẹ̀ panu March nínú April wẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí in fact a matter of fact after tó ti sọ 90 million ṣáwá tá a wà sínú executive àwọn tá a sì inú APC àwọn tá a sì inú party kankan àwọn tá a kì í ṣe olóṣèlú rárá ṣẹ́mi tí wá dé ikú tó wọlé tó ń pọ̀jù di tó ń pọ̀jù gba ọba ẹ̀rí pé káràlù gan má ṣàṣùpara ní ẹ̀rọ mọ́ṣẹ́ display owó tí wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ aráàlú tìdùnnú àwọn network providers ṣé wọn mọ̀ bí táyà lè wà ní after all láì wọn ni wọ́n fi record tí wọ́n fi post kìíní wọ́n ní àwọn materials tí wọ́n máa fi track ibi báyìí ni wọ́n ti record fídíò yìí ṣebí ìlú tó witch láti curb insurgency ló máa ń ṣe irú ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tí government of today bá ready láti pa gbogbo wọn kò ná government ní kankan ibi tí government Nigeria wà capable de but there is no will ayé ti àwọn wọn ti fẹ́ fúrọ̀ gan in fact matter of fact ó dà pé ìjọba méjìlá ní Nàìjíríà ìjọba Fúlàní àti ìjọba tá a dìbò yàn àwọn ìjọba méjìlá ní Nàìjíríà nìyẹn ìjọba Fúlàní tí wọ́n ṣe ìjọba lọ burúkú àti ìjọba tá a dìbò yàn nítorí àwọn Fúlàní ní Fúlàní ṣe Nàìjíríà wọn sì lọ́dà constitution kankan kódà táwọn agbófinró bá rí wọn pẹ̀lú wọ́n ń gbébọn kiri tí ó dẹ̀sẹ̀ ló fẹ́ mú wọn ẹ̀yìn ẹjẹ́ kí ordinary citizen kan tó bí kú kó gbébọn kọjá lójú ọlọ́pàá tó bá ní arrest ẹ̀ bí báwo tiẹ̀ ṣe jẹ́ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ní ẹni àbí so safe àbò jẹ́ vigilante tó bá ti sínú kọnu gbogbo wọn ó dáa ṣe paramilitary ní ẹ civil defence ní ẹni àbí immigration correctional officer ní ẹni àbí kí ni àwọn owó tún ní paramilitary custom tó bá ti ń ṣe yẹn ok bóyá full force military ní ẹ ṣọlọ́pàá ní ẹni àbò jẹ́ sójà àbò jẹ́ air force àbò wà nínú ọ̀nà naval tó bá ti ṣe kankan bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ arrest you kí ló fi mọ̀ ṣe bẹ̀ Fúlàní ọmọ ìjọba àwọn ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ mọ̀ kiri they always go around with their weapons tí ó sì tó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ so ayé kejì làwọn wà àwa wà láyé kìíní London àjọba bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ò sí London àjọba wọ́n sì London àjọba they are not bound with any constitution no law no constitution they are constitutionalist wọ́n lè ṣe tó ń wọ̀n ìjọba tó máa bẹ̀ wọ́n ni bí ti Fúlàní ti weld agbára fúnra wọn dé that is the situation report in this country a whole national director wọ́n pa bí ẹni pẹ̀lú yẹ wá sí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ikú tó ń bojú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni òwe ló ń pa fún ni Fúlàní tó ní confidence láti wọ inú ààfin lọ bọ́ba aládé láti yìnbọn pa mórí àpèrè nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kan náà yìí ní 2022 2023 kí ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ta mú wọn sídẹ́nà tẹ́ bá arrest wọn pàápàá èmi ò tí ì gbọ́ ní pé kóòtù kan ó sẹ́ńtẹ́ǹsì Fúlàní to death by hanging mi ò gbọ́ rí láyé bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sẹ́ni commit murder tó wọn kì í ṣe murder nìkan pàápàá culpable homicide làwọn commit not ordinary murder culpable homicide ó làwọn Fúlàní commit mass killing ordinary murder kan bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe pé when there is no constitution in this country wọ́n ṣe gbé kò sófin olójú àwọn tó fi mú irú àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù kéékèèké báyìí ló fi mú bẹ́tẹ̀ láwọn tó ti gbogbo kékeré kọjá ewé o àwọn òfin ògùn wọn kì bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni look at that rate of lawlessness. Fulani ní God láti máa display owó tó ń gbà lọ́wọ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà lórí social media láì dẹ̀ kí ẹ̀ wọ́n ẹjẹ́ gbọ́ kan sọ bá play fídíò yìí.
Tinunbu
ṣe tó wá fẹ́ gbọ́ tuntun inú oko olóko náà wà o àwọn màálù wọn lè rí inú oko yẹn o bóyá olóko ni wọ́n jí bẹ́ẹ̀ tán gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹbí ẹ̀ àmọ́ inú oko olóko náà wà ẹ̀ wọ́n ti gboko lọ́wọ́ olóko ẹ lọ́wọ́ iye tápẹ̀rẹ̀ tòmátò àtàtà dà nísìn ẹ lọ́wọ́ iye tó dà ń ta nígboro ata 500,000 kò tó ṣe pátí confam ni mò ń sọ fún wa yìí 500,000 lórí ata nìkan àtàlùbọ́sà 500,000 $500,000 wọ́n ní pẹ́pẹ́sẹ́ ata Yorùbá ò tí ì jáde jẹ́rù tí Fúlàní ṣe kiri ìyàn là ń kọ lẹ́tà sí Nàìjíríà inasport Fúlàní bá ṣe ń pa àwọn àgbẹ̀ láìpẹ́ láì jìnà ọlọ́mọdé àtọ̀rọ̀ jẹ́ Nàìjíríà láti sọ àtẹ̀fírí táwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ fi sọ pé best thing ẹ jẹ́ kó ní kálukú kọ́lọ́mú tọ́bù yẹn gbé kàkà kí kìnìún kó ṣakápò ẹkùn ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣọdẹ wọn lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ gbọ́kànlá ká máa bá wọn ánímà yìí ká máa bá wọn gbé ẹkújá máa lọ́ tiwa náà ká kó kúrò láàrin wọn ká dágbó ìtẹ̀ ká máa bá wọn ẹranko ìgbé àkúdú imagine APC mo wá rọ̀ yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ lẹ́mí ilẹ̀ ó yẹ kẹ́ rìvẹ́ǹtì kú ọkùnrin kẹ́ẹ̀tì ẹ̀ jẹ́ pé látòrí ikú ẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ action kárí lára yín pé ẹ rẹ́dì láti gbèjà Nàìjíríà kárí pé ẹ rẹ́dì láti gbà wá lọ́wọ́ Fúlàní eléyìí pọ̀ o túbọ̀ wá ń wọ́ sísí day in day out alábọ́ọ̀rù wá ń di ẹrù lójoojúmọ́ ojoojúmọ́ ní gbogbo nǹkan yẹn ń wọ́ sísí kò sáàbò mọ́ rárá àmọ́yẹ ní ti lọ létọ̀ rí mọ́ tí ó délé àwọn gbọ́mọgbọ́mọ láàrin Yorùbá àti Ìgbò àwọn yẹn ń ṣe tí wọ́n lọ lack of security náà ni àwọn yẹn ń ṣe tí wọ́n lọ bíbà a fẹ́ mú wọn kò sí ṣe tó fẹ́ mú wọn kò ṣe tó fẹ́ bí wọ́n léèrè Desmond Obilo ó pè kan nínú àwọn ọ̀gá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ìyẹn ti rìtáyà ó wà ń bí pé ìwọ lọ̀gá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn tẹ́lẹ̀ ìyẹn ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni báwo ni security gbàyàn àti ìsìn máa yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ mi tẹ́fẹ́ lè máa bọ́ lójú mi ní tí báyẹn sọ ní interview gbogbo èèyàn ló clear sí pé Nàìjíríà sì kò sáàbò mọ́ everybody ló clear sí jẹ́ ká má tọ́ra wa àwọn tó wà nípò gan I am too sure wọ́n á máa bojú ẹ̀yìn tó bá rìn torí mo lọ́lọ́pàá lẹ́yìn ọ̀rọ̀ o àìmọye ọlọ́pàá tó ti pàtàkì arábìnrin lè kó lójú wọ́n á target escort wọ́n á padà nù wọ́n á dẹ̀ pa wọ́n á gbé principal tó wá ẹ ká gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu máa yìí.
You, until recently, was the chair of Amotekun in Oyo State, right?
Yeah, for some time.
For some time. So what can you say about security around Oyo State and Amotekun?
Until I left, the security was still not okay. There's the influx of these Fulani herdsmen. And I was shouting. I gave a lecture somewhere. And I quoted Abacha. He said, if you are fighting security and it lasts more than 4 weeks, the government is behind it.
So, explain.
Good. The federal government was behind the influx of Fulani herdsmen to the southern part.
When you say Fulani herdsmen, men with cow,
they call them Fulani herdsmen. Some of them don't even have cows. But they were coming fully armed.
Fully armed.
AK-47.
And you said Buhari government was involved.
Wait. That time, everybody was complaining. That time, federal government announced that everybody should submit their weapons to the police. Now, people were complaining that time. I'm saying this thing. There was a meeting in Kano. They said they are Fulani National Movement. In their communique that time, this is about 5-6 years ago, that Allah has given them the land of Nigeria as inheritance. And that they have told all Fulani in West African sub-region and Central Africa to start coming to Nigeria, to come and take over what Allah has given them as inheritance. That's the land of Nigeria. And that when they are coming, they should come fully armed. That's the only language Nigerians understand. Violence. It is their communication. All that time, people were shouting. But didn't say a word. But when people challenged him once, why are these people who carry AK? He said they are using it to protect their cows.
Was it true?
Of course, that very, very false. Now, General Buhari, I know he has a very close relationship with the Bishop of Canterbury. Now, when he went to UK during one of his period of treatment, he told Bishop of Canterbury that it is not Fulani herdsmen that are killing people. There's some group trained by Gaddafi, who the Gaddafi has armed. They are the one that infiltrated the Fulani herdsmen. They are the one doing the killing.
But what did you discover?
I was discovering somebody one day. He was saying, I said, come, you are very close to Buhari. Go and meet him. A general is a soldier for life. Ask him that in the military, when foreigners enter your territory, carrying arms, what is it you are told in the military? They are described to us as invaders.
Invaders.
And what did the military say we should do with them? We are to hunt them down like rabbits and eliminate them. I said, go and meet Buhari and ask him.
He didn't hunt them down?
Who are the people doing the kidnapping? Who are the people? They like refer to them as bandits. Who are the people carrying out the banditry?
Are they in our forest around here?
The entire Yoruba land is occupied by them.
As we are talking now?
As I'm talking to you.
General Togun?
Yes.
So when you were in Amotekun, did you try to tackle them?
I did everything I can. But I didn't have cooperation.
Cooperation from who? From Oyo State Governor?
Government, yes.
Oyo State Governor?
Yes.
How?
I can't stand say all these things.
At least give us a hint. What is it that you wanted?
Come. I wanted NCOs from the military, non-commissioned officers, to be recruited, to be put as coordinators in the very local government. I couldn't achieve that.
Why? What was the reason? They were not available to be recruited or what?
They are available. Now, I don't want to talk more on this. I said they are supposed to be zonal commanders. And I wanted retired combatant officers of the rank of captain or major to be zonal commanders of Amotekun in various zones.
You didn't achieve that?
I didn't achieve it. I don't want to delve much in that area.
But are we under threat in the southwest?
We are still there.
Ìlú Ẹ̀gbẹ́ kú ìpalẹ̀mọ́ àlejò sátidé àbámẹ́ta ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ni o. Pẹ́pẹ́jẹ́ akọmọ àwọn ọ̀tọ̀kùn lóru agbórí wọlé sílùú Abẹ́òkúta eré gbogbo ẹsẹ̀ wìtìwìtì ní kípẹ́. Níbi ìṣílẹ̀ bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ Alhaji Sabrur Adébáyọ̀ Aláwìyí ọmọ bàbá tíṣà. Láṣà tó lùdarí iléeṣẹ́ BGI TV. Ilé rẹ̀ bá fi ọba àwọn lọ́ba máa péjú pèsè síbẹ̀. Lu àwọn ìlú nǹkan àbálẹ̀ lára àwọn royal father of the day ní kábíyèsí. Bá Professor Sakamat Milọ́lábọ̀ Olówùtì lóògùn Ẹ̀gbá. Bíṣọ̀ Bájímọ̀ Ọlájídé Títílayọ̀ Olúọ̀f Igbóọ̀rà. Ẹ̀lúkò lóǹkà àwọn bálẹ̀ ni yóò péjú pèsè síbẹ̀. Chairman of the day Alhaji Abaliu Akànwó Adétọ̀nà Istijaba National Vice Broadcast Union of Nigeria. Bàbá wa Imam Akib Idris Grand Mufti ti ìlú Òwu Kingdom. Guest lecturer of the day tí àwọn àgbà àfà àti Ọlọ́run gbọ́ tiẹ̀. Wọn náà yóò máa wà níkàlẹ̀ láti ṣàdúrà ilé àtúrà lára wọn ní Alhaji Fadilat Sheikh Muhammadu Sabiu Abdulkareem Akewukanwo. Wọ́n jẹ́ Chief Imam and Founder Allahu Samad. Wọ́n tún jẹ́ Chief Wasiri Ọ̀bọ̀land. Aago mẹ́wàá lè tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láìfà àkókò ṣòfò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa débẹ̀rẹ̀ o tẹ́ ẹ bá ti dé sílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Ẹ wọkọ̀ tàbọ́kadà tó ń lọ sí iléeṣẹ́ àwò. Lọ sí iléeṣẹ́ àwò ẹgbọ́kadà láti bẹ̀. Kẹ̀ní Malam Àrò Estate lẹ́ ń lọ. Ilé bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀kẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ ni wọ́n ò gbẹ̀yìn débẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ gbé mọ́tò wá kò mà bẹ́ẹ̀ wú dé o. Ẹ bá ti yà ní iléeṣẹ́ àwò kedere lẹ́ẹ̀ ti máa rí àwọn atọ́ka ọ̀nà tí ó máa tọ́ yín sọ́nà. Lẹ́lẹ́bẹ̀ yìí lẹ́ ń di ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀. Ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ lè pè sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 081 30 67 2361 081 30 67 23 61 lọ́jọ́ sátidé àbámẹ́ta April 19 ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí. Àjẹ àmú àkùlùbọ̀ ọdún àtúndì lọ́lé bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ lónìí ìwé akárí o.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ padà. Wọ́n interview Governor Bauchi. Ó dídí làwọn nípa wọn làwọn kó gbogbo Fúlàní tó wà ní Áfíríkà. Àwọn làwọn kó wọn wá pé kó máa bọ̀ Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀nà wà fún wọn, soft land wà fún wọn, soft ground wà láti operate. Orí National TV ló ti sọ tí ó bẹ̀rù Eyan state governor. Ó dídí confam dẹ̀ pé àwọn làwọn permit àwọn làwọn allow àwọn Fúlàní all over Africa pé kí wọ́n lè wà lójú kan máa bọ̀ Nàìjíríà. Interview nìyẹn náà máa play fún wa máa gbọ́. Èrò tí mò ń parí ẹ̀jẹ̀ á gbọ́.
And of course, we will try more to cultivate that culture in our people, while at the same time bringing the Fulanis in one fold and try to arrest their traditional practice of moving from one place to the other. And that is very big, an uphill task. But I think we can communicate with them more, because to them they don't have borders from Cameroon to Nigeria.
But that's the thing, Your Excellency. How do we ensure that those who will be participating in this federal government largely funded program will be Nigerians?
in terms of the funding?
No, in terms of the
operations.
Operations. You
That
said
is it.
to bring in the Fulanis together. We have
You
Fulanis from other
see, the
countries
issue
as well.
of misconception, I see there is a lot of mistrust and misconception with regards to the Fulani man. The Fulani man is a global or an African person. He moves from the Gambia, from Senegal, and his nationality is just a Fulani man. And as a person, I may have my relations in the Cameroon, but they are also Fulani men. I have relations because from the maternal side, I'm a Fulani man. And that is why we want to educate people. A Fulani man sees himself as a Bayelsan, as somebody coming from the Niger Delta, because he speaks the Niger Delta language, which you and I don't. And of course, we would have to just take this as part of our own heritage, something that is African, and that we cannot just close the border and say the Fulani man is just a Nigerian or this. No. In most cases, the crises are precipitated by those outside Nigeria. When there is a reprisal, it is not the Fulani man within Nigeria that causes it. It is that culture of getting revenge, which is embedded in the tradition of the Fulani man, that attracts reprisal from all over the
If I
world.
understand it, does that mean that those Fulani men who are maybe domiciled in other countries, who move around, they can come into the country and this plan will accommodate them as well?
Yes, that's what we want to do. But it has to be done through sensitization, telling them you have to buy in the project, and you use the language, the culture itself to be able to convince them, away from the mistrust where the whole system of transhumance or pastoralism is criminalized. Criminalization of pastoralism is the problem that we have with this project, and it requires people with passion who understand them and who they believe in, people like us from that part of the country, to say yes, we have this. Because today there is no limit to the accusation that this and that has happened and it is the Fulani man who caused it. There is no tribe that is not that you don't have this criminality in, but certainly the way and manner we do it is really exacerbating the crisis and the problems.
Will there be any form of documentation of all the people that will be,
yes, we are
within that?
Oh yes, that is going to give Nigeria the opportunity to really have the best in terms of documentation in the demographics, because as I said, the Fulani man settles anywhere he can feed his cattle. And so if they are put in one place and they are made to understand that this is to save them and their animals, they are exposed to the vagaries of the forest and what is going on, cattle rustling, killings and what have you, and that's why it is important for them to understand that staying in one place is good. And of course, in terms of the best practice of carrying the meat, the cows and the lorries.
Let's stay with that security angle for a bit. Is there going to be, this plan going to be a fenced enclosure where anyone who comes in is secured, so there is no one that can just come in from anywhere else?
No. It is going to be a colony, and a colony does not require a fence.
You will understand
it is not going to be a prison.
You will understand the reason why people are concerned, because of all the security issues that have been happening over time. So if that's...
These forests are there anyway. If you don't occupy them and create a colony out of them, they create places for the criminals. And today, that's why you have the Sambisa forest, because it is not being utilized.
But Your Excellency, much as yes, I mean, they're fantastic. We have met a lot of them who are Fulanis as well. But the concern too is, why should federal government use resources for this country to accommodate Fulani men who are not Nigerians?
You see, as I said, we are already accommodating them. Do you delineate and then really know who is not a Fulani man from Nigeria? They are all Nigerians, because I said their identity, their own citizenship is Nigerian, even though we have relations all over the world, all over Africa. And so, presumably they are Nigerians. I think you get me. That is the misunderstanding. They move from one place to the other, and they have relations, kith and kins in all the parts of the country and even outside the country. So that is why our own population is fluid. You can certainly not say this is the population of Nigeria.
So this ẹni tí ó kù parọ́ ló lẹ́lẹ́rìí òun wà lálákejì. Ṣùgbọ́n ló mi tún fún àwọn Nàìjíríà fún kinní kan. oníkálukú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀gá DSS ṣe sọ oníkálukú náà ti ń gbégbèsè ìnáwó rẹ̀ láti dìfẹ́ǹdà rẹ̀ tẹ́mi bá wà nípò olóṣèlú ní tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí ìdá kí n ti resign tàbí kí n pa àwọn ológun wa kí instruct wọn ní special instruction àwọn ọmọ Ẹdó wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé òkú gbogbo àwọn tí Fúlàní pa wọ́n lọ drop ẹ̀ sí iwájú ilé gọ́fúnà wọn máa sún jẹ ẹ̀wọ̀n náà fojú ara wọn rí tú táwọn Fúlàní pa tó gbogbo ariwo táwọn èèyàn pa kì í ṣe irọ́ aṣọ dáṣọ káwọn ìjọba náà lè react ni kí wọ́n lè respond ní táwọn ṣe yìí kéjì ọba má di la fi ṣe kíjọba lè mọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú kọ́ lè mọ̀ gbèsè wo ni wọ́n fẹ́ gbé embrace tíjọba embrace àwọn Fúlàní wà láyà burú ló ń fà fún mọ́ọ̀lù call a spade a spade ẹ declare àwọn as terrorist group Miyetti Allah is nothing but terrorist group ẹgbẹ́ apanuri ni wọ́n ń ṣe business group rárá tó bá ti register ní CAC ẹ ti register wọ́n fi màálù bojú ni ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n bayé wọn jẹ́ ayé ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n bàjẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n ọ̀kan tó sọ now woman yìí mo ti wá fídíò ẹ̀ ti pẹ́ Ọlọ́run wá jẹ́ kí n padà rí i nígbà náà Fúlàní ẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láyé Buhari oní woman ti rí ògo lójú ẹ̀ ti rí nítorí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́nà lẹ́nu woman yẹn kájọ tẹ́tí gbọ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ nǹkan tí ojú woman yẹn rí òun ọmọ ẹ̀ àtọkọ ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Fúlàní òun fúnra rẹ̀ Haúsá ni bẹ̀ Fúlàní jí wọn gbé àtọkọ àtọmọ àtòun fúnra ẹ̀ tó jẹ́yàwó ntójú wọn rí ọmọ ẹ̀ ìjọba ọkọ fídíò yẹn mímọ̀ gbà tí mo sunkún báyìí tó mi bọ́ lójú mi a sọ àwọn eléyìí kíjọba Nàìjíríà lè mọ̀ pé it's not Uhuru as usual tẹ́lẹ̀ it's not Uhuru anymore kò ń ṣe ṣeréṣeré mọ́ ariwo tí gbòó pàgbà yẹn ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sí kíjọba dìde kí wọ́n ran ọmọ ìlú lọ́wọ́ kí wọ́n wá nǹkan ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ security otherwise everybody máa bá tiwọn lọ that synergy is not working Fúlàní kò jẹ́ kí synergy wẹ́ work mọ́ kò sí tó jẹ́ wọ́n Nàìjíríà mọ́ due to activities of Fulanis there's no more one Nigeria one sufferness lókù Fúlàní rẹ́dì kéèyàn délé kéèyàn máa lọ lé kó má délé kó má roko kó má tóko Fúlàní rẹ́dì we can't continue like this we can't bóyá kí ni kọ́sándà ni woman yẹn jẹ́ jẹ́ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu ẹ̀.
The driver felt the wagon's tires rupture and decided to park the car with the hope of changing the tires. It was like a film. In a GC, motley crowd of armed men in military uniform came out of the bush. They fired at the boot of the car. Ahead of us, 5 of them came out of the bush. Another 2 came from the rear. My daughter screamed, "Mommy, Daddy, what's going on?" There was no time to say a word. They marched us through into the bush, firing into the sky. They hit me on my chest, hit my daughter on her head. Blood oozed. At this time, it was better to kill me. I shouted at one of the armed men. His response was hell. He went straight for my private part, tore my dress with his gun. The others ripped my dresses I was left with my undies. My husband and my daughter started crying. Two of them dug their teeth into my breast. While attending a secondary school in Adamawa, I had lived with some Fulani, so I understood a few Fulani words. I started pleading, at least for my daughter. To my shock, at gunpoint, they removed the dress of my little girl. One of them carried her on his head as a baby, on his head as my baby struggled, shouting, "Daddy, Mommy, what's going on? Help me!" I could not help myself. We marched for 9 hours. I was half naked. My daughter was totally naked. Her tears was like a stream of blood on her cheeks. Our phones had been seized. We ended up in an ungoverned region in the thick of the forest. We met a well-organized group. There were some kidnapped victims. I saw 2 women, 2 ladies and 3 men. There were some people with their legs chained to trees. They were as if half dead. We were separated. I was separated from my husband. My daughter was taken away. I only heard her screaming intermittently. I did not know what they were doing to her. These men, now about 2 dozen, had a full kitchen. They had a huge camp and a traditional medical team. How can they say they don't know where these people are? How can they say that? But the camps appeared isolated from each other. We heard noises afar, indicating it might be nuclear settlements of camps. Right in my presence, I saw them pack the remains of a woman. They took her and buried her a few meters away from us. She had tribal marks. I cannot describe the agony of 6 days in captivity in this little piece. I cannot talk about how they asked my husband to choose between myself being raped or his daughter being raped. My husband broke down in uncontrollable tears. One of them hit him saying, "Yoruba bastard, you dey cry, idiot." They now gave him an option that he should be raped by one homosexual among them. My husband, a devout Muslim. My husband is a devout Muslim. He told them that homosexual and rape of any kind was against Islam. They hit him with a butt of AK-47. What do you know about Islam? You can imagine, you are being asked to choose between being raped by a homosexual, your daughter just 9 years old, or your wife being raped. They gave the 4th option. If you fail to choose one, we would rape your daughter, rape you, the man, and rape me, the wife. I made myself the sacrificial lamb. My husband begged, saying they should name any price. One of them asked him to bend down. 3 beastly criminals sat on his back, jumping until he was too weak to stand. I was not allowed to put on any additional clothes. Imagine they rape you all night and they stop you from putting on any clothes for 24 hours. The rain fell once. I became a relic at a sexual museum for the armed men who in turn addressed me and asked questions about my financial standing. New Fulani men joined the camp. They organized military training for the new Fulani men that came, teaching them how to shoot and walk through circles of glowing fire. They were not released until after 6 days. We were not released until after 6 days. We had to walk the same zigzag journey back to the main road, our eyes blindfolded. During the negotiation to pay, they said the money was not for them alone, that they had to settle those who sent them. For me, I was I see a thriving organized crime supported by powerful political interests. Now, I do not think we were released to freedom after paying a whopping 8 million naira. I do not think we can ever be free. We can never be free from the anguish, the psychological trauma, the nightmares we suffered, the occasional fits of my daughter, her waking up at night behaving strangely, her asking the same question over and over, Mommy, Mommy, why? Why? And I do not have an answer. In my life, I have never passed through a torture chamber like this. I do not think any society should let this happen. I do not know the fate of those we met and about 7 other people brought during the 6 days we were in captivity. What I saw was a nation that has collapsed, but pretends she lives. A people on life support. Crime is not restricted to Fulani people alone. We have Yoruba criminals, but I don't think Yoruba criminals are this beastly. These elements are savages. I can't imagine Yoruba thieves going to Sokoto or Maiduguri to kidnap Fulani people and keep them in their own bushes. It gives me mental torture that this is happening, and some people are even trying to justify or look for excuses. Well, as a devout Muslim, myself and my family have taken solace in Allah. Not the Nigerian police, not the army, not the government. We have taken our faith the way it came. This is supposed to be fate. I thank God that we successfully returned to where we live, thousands of miles from Nigeria. We thank God that we have made a vow. Never shall me, any of my children or husband in our lifetime visit Nigeria again. Our remains, anytime we die, will also not be buried in Nigeria. It was a suggestion my daughter made, which we all adopted. I pity the country. I pity her people who continuously walk like the living dead. I pity those who parade themselves as leaders because they know nothing about what is going on and the abyss the country is sunk already. I pity Yoruba people. Oh, I pity you. I pity my people. For me, the issue is not about President Buhari. Democracy can produce anything, even the worst in the society. What I worry about is the conspiracy of silence by the people themselves. The ignorance, the treachery, and the illusion that one day things will get better through another election. Since I was born in Nigeria, each year had led from bad to worse and on and on. I do not have a solution to what is going on, but I think very soon hell will let loose upon the earth as long as there is no law and order and anarchy and the rule of brutes in the order of the day. Once again, there can never be anything more comforting than my husband, who saw what I went through, but was able to encourage me, and even encourage me to write this little piece after months of agony and sociological imbalance. Good night, Nigerians.
Finally, kébi tó máa lọ. Fídíò ni wọ́n fi appeal síjọba ni that they should do the needful. Kẹ́lẹ̀ mọ̀ pé yà ń ti ọmọ ìlú, àwọn ọmọ ìlú wà òkè. Fídíò ni ò ṣe show full in táwọn ọmọ Ẹdó ṣe torí òkú tó ń gbé nínú ẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ ká wà wíà ní pé àwọn èèyàn tí ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ara wọn Yorùbá kò dúró. Ṣẹ́gbọ́n tó ń fẹ́ ṣe ní London sí wọ́n kà nínú ojúmọ́ aláyọ̀ wa. Kóìkì mo kí ẹ o, ẹ ṣeun ẹ kúṣẹ́. Àtẹ̀yìn mídíà míì tẹ́ wà ní London, tẹ́ wà ní UK generally, ajá Queen Ara, àbókùnrin gbọdọ àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin tó kù tẹ́ wà ń bẹ̀ ọlọ́run ò ní dúró sun yín kò ní rẹ̀yìn lágbára ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ ká wo ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ kémi máa fi yẹn ṣe lọ kí n wá tó lọ ẹ jẹ́ kí n tó dúpẹ́sẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ ìjìká fún mi tẹ́ jẹ́ kí ẹrù jábọ́ mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ ṣé o ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá bọ̀ ọjọ́ sátọ̀dé aago 10 kò sí African time lágbára aago 10 gẹ́gẹ́ ní program abẹ̀rẹ̀ tó bá dẹ̀ máa fi tó 4 gbogbo tá a fẹ́ ṣe ti parí merry making dẹ̀ ló kù jíjẹ mímu ló dẹ̀ kù ọlọ́run á ṣe rọrùn fún wa màmá retí yín I am using this platform to invite you specially sí ìṣílẹ̀ wa ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe ìjọ náà ànídájọ́ lékú lọ́wọ́ ànídájọ́ lárùn lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì tẹ́ ẹ lẹ́ǹbọ̀ lé torí bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ ẹ ní ní plane crash lágbára ọlọ́run ẹ̀dẹ́ láyọ̀ àtàlàfíà àjọ ríre ohun rẹ̀ bára wa ṣe pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ lágbára ọlọ́run bá ẹ ṣé o láyọ̀ o.
Handle the situation. Now that is one of the dead bodies. They are offloading the dead bodies. I think the central idea here is to keep the dead bodies in front of the government house. These are sons of Plateau that were murdered. These are sons of Plateau that were murdered. And my brother Tinunbu is here. Yes! 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 This is Comrade Tinunbu. They should get the DSS to come and pick all of us. This is in Plateau State. This is in Plateau State. They are bringing the corpses to the front of the gate of the government house. All the corpses. This is the Plateau story. This is the story you will never get to hear anywhere. This is the Plateau story. This is the situation on the Plateau. This is the just story. This is the Plateau story. We must tell our stories ourselves. This is the Plateau story. Innocently, people were kept at home. This is the Plateau story. The world must see this. Our part of the story must be seen. Plateau story must be told. And we must tell our story. This is the Plateau story. The message has been delivered. The message has been delivered. The corpse have been dropped in front of the government house.